Alright, what's coming out on the Switch soon? Pokemon Sword and Shield, that's right, that's right. You know, I can't believe they're not doing a discount for the double pack. Well, looks like Doom 64 might be staying... No. No. Are you fu- If you're interested in game reviews, Switch updates, and everything else in the gaming world, don't forget to click that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you get notified every single time that we go live with a new video. So many years ago, 3 to be exact, and what's up with me being facetious about the number 3? This is the second video in a row I've mentioned the number 3, and oh, it's such a long time ago. Okay, but seriously, it's been about 3 years since I started creating content online, and specifically that's when I started streaming video games, and I did so starting over on Facebook, which is a weird spot to be, but I had a built-in audience. I had friends. I have friends on Facebook, so I had that built-in audience, so people that might want to come in and watch me stream. I realized after about a stream or two that was just dumb. You don't grow on Facebook, at least you didn't back then. Now there's Facebook gaming, blah blah, points. So I moved to Twitch about 2 days later, and from there, and even on Facebook, the first game I jumped into was Five Nights at Freddy's. So I've had experience playing this game, and for anyone that knows me, you would know that horror games, horror movies, anything with the word horror in it is just not my cup of tea. Not a fan. That's not really the point. Point is, Five Nights at Freddy's is where I got my start creating content. So when I was doing some perusing on the Nintendo Switch eShop, the Five Nights at Freddy launch pages, the landing pages, the splash screens if you will, threw me for a loop. I was like, holy crap, oh what? This is coming to the Switch? Awesome, awesome. We've been talking about ports for how long? And the thing is, not too long ago, literally like in the last week, I thought, aren't we due console ports of Five Nights at Freddy's at some point? You know, we got the VR game on the PlayStation and Steam. Where are the console ports? And of course, a couple days later, here we are. They've been officially announced for the Nintendo Switch. So let's jump into that. We're gonna go over the splash screens, the descriptions, the pricing, the release date, everything else. Of course, information on the PS4 and Xbox One version, still unaware of just yet. So let's move over to the Switch and the computer and dive into this. So here's what we know so far. Five Nights at Freddy's is coming out on all major platforms. The Nintendo Switch, as we already mentioned, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. However, we only have an official release date, or according to Nintendo, estimated release date for just the Switch version. And not only are we getting Five Nights at Freddy's, we're getting its 2 follow-up games, FNAF 2 and FNAF 3. Fans on Reddit and Discord are already going crazy about the idea of Springtrap and Super Smash Bros. While this would be utterly crazy, my Fighter's Pass would be more than paid for if Springtrap became a playable character. Now let's take a look at each game, its description, its cost, and what the damage will be in terms of storage size. So immediately off the bat, we know that we're getting all 3 games on November 29th, 2019, which happens to be Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And this is kind of a smart move because I would assume that a lot of parents are going to be picking up a lot of Switch Lites this day. And Five Nights at Freddy's, whether it's actually aimed towards them or not, has a lot of teenage players. And I think this is a brilliant move on their part to release it on this exact day, while many parents may be waiting until Christmas to give those kids their Switch. Maybe they'll give them early. Either way, this was a smart move to release it this day. And while Halloween probably would have been a good idea, competing against Luigi's Mansion just probably would not have worked out too well for them. Anyways, as we move into it, once we get into, say, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, we find out that the cost will be $7.99. This will be the case for every single game that is on the Switch eShop at the moment. And what is noticeable is the lack of a bundle version, which in a game series like this, you would expect there to be one, but we'll get a little bit more into that in just a moment. There isn't much about the description itself that we really need to go over. It's just kind of a synopsis of the game itself. But as we scroll down, we can kind of look at the supported play modes. Of course, you can play it in docked mode on your TV, handheld mode with, it looks like you can do a singular Joy-Con, which would be interesting, I guess, but we'll get into what I think will be the preferred method here. And of course, you got the Nintendo Switch Lite is compatible as well. Now, initially, I was going to go over each game individually here, but literally they're all pretty much carbon copies. Each description has a view of the synopsis for the game. As you scroll down, you get a little bit more information regarding the storage size, supported controllers, and of course the estimated release date. But other than that, there's really not much to say regarding the game description as well as the software details. I guess the biggest thing here is confirmation that there is a touchscreen support, which I believe is absolutely necessary. However, it's not confirmed in the description page for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 that touchscreen support will be enabled, unlike the other two. I believe this is just an oversight, but we'll see come release day if FNAF 3 will feature touchscreen support or not. Now, earlier I mentioned I thought it was weird that we couldn't have the option to buy this as a bundle. Over on Steam, you get the 5 mainline games for a total of $29.55 if you choose to go the bundling route, and that's not too bad for 5 games. On Steam, each game costs $7.99 with the exception of the original game, which is listed at $4.99. The Switch ports are all listed at that familiar $7.99, including the original. It's likely that the Xbox One and PS4 versions will be at the same cost. Speaking of those versions, how will this game work on those consoles? And same for the Switch in dock mode. This was the initial concern when talks of ports to home consoles were being discussed. Just looking at one screenshot from FNAF 3, there are 2 button mappings confirmed for that game. But elsewhere, are we just going to be scrolling through the camera with a D-pad? This seems quite unintuitive for a game that was so heavily reliant upon mouse movement. FNAF 4 and Sister Location weren't included in the Coming Soon tab, and neither were the spin-offs Ultimate Custom Night, Fazbear Pizzeria Simulator, or FNAF World. As for those spin-offs, I don't see those getting console ports with the exception of maybe Fazbear Pizzeria Simulator. Perhaps Ultimate Custom Night gets added as free DLC in the future. Before I noticed the games being released on the eShop Coming Soon section, people had noticed Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is the only one being there. The eventual reason for this is that Nintendo's approval of the submissions of the games were done out of order, which is why 3 showed up first. I wonder if FNAF 4 and Sister Location just haven't been reviewed or still need to be adjusted for Nintendo standards. I don't see why this would be released on a different day if they are going to be released eventually. These games aren't long by any means, and I think people would be very interested in purchasing the entire collection all at once. I think it goes without saying that the Switch in portable mode will provide the best experience among the console ports. Perhaps the PS4's touchpad will lend itself well if it's utilized. If it is, the Xbox One version will probably be the least desired, although I could see one of the games being a Game Pass entry at some point. When all is said and done come Black Friday, I fully expect the Switch version to be the most successful. FNAF has an odd appeal to young teens, and I expect this to be no different on the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. FNAF grew a cult following rather quickly, and whether you want to take the game itself, the online community, or Matt Pat over at Game Theory, Five Nights at Freddy's is without a doubt one of the biggest indie stories of this generation of gaming. Nearly 5 years after its initial release, the Five Nights at Freddy's series is finally making its way to home consoles. So come Black Friday, will you be getting the Nintendo Switch ports of Five Nights at Freddy's, or will you be waiting for the PS4 and Xbox One version? If so, which one are you most excited for? And if this video ends up with 300 likes, perhaps I'll give away one of those games for the system of your choosing. Steam will not be included, alright? Anyway, leave your thoughts down below, of course. Drop a like on this video, it'll help us out. Get subscribed. And of course, head over to twitch.tv/partyball because we will be streaming on Black Friday the ports of this game. I'm gonna suffer through it again because I care. And it's gonna be my 3-year anniversary creating content. So why not? Let's go back to where we started from, alright? But let's do it with the controller, see how that feels, see where we go. But until next time, again, of course, thank you, and party on. I'm just gonna let the phone guy talk for a second. Woo! That was not easy.
Oh, hey, wow, day 4. I knew you could do it. Hey, listen.
Oh, not good.
Send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you. So when I did, hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits in the back room. I'm gonna try to hold out until someone.
All right, guys.
Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. You know.
if you weren't listening, phone guy just got killed by Freddy. And I'm probably not too far off either, because he gets scared. Right at that 0% body popped up right here, and then Freddy's music started playing. I was convinced we were gonna get scared there for a second, but... So, night 4. I'm nervous as balls. I honestly can't believe I'm doing this. This is not easy, guys, doing this by yourself. And I know not all of you have computers that can really play games that well or even care to do so. So this game is available for just $3 on pretty much any mobile platform too. Jesus. Ah!